Hey guys, my name is Reno, and today I'm going to be teaching about pairs of lines and angles. Okay, so first off, parallel lines, skew lines, and parallel planes. So, two lines that do not intersect are called parallel planes or skew lines, but skew lines have a little more. So, parallel lines. If two lines do not intersect and they are coplanar, then they are parallel lines. If two lines do not intersect and are not coplanar, then they are skew lines. If two planes do not intersect, then they are called parallel planes. In this diagram, we have all examples of all three of these. Pause the video, try to find them, and come back for the right answer. Okay, so now that you're back, so lines, as we can see here, lines M and N are parallel lines, and lines M and K are skew lines. That's because lines M and N are coplanar and don't intersect, so they're parallel lines. Lines K and M are non-coplanar and they don't intersect, so they are skew lines. And then finally, planes T and U are parallel planes because they do not intersect. Okay, so as you can see here, in this picture we saw two little arrows on lines M and N. What does that mean? That just means that these two lines are parallel. You might see these in rays, segments, and many more. But in general, the symbol that we use to represent them are just two L's really close together, which represents that any two geometric figures are parallel. Alright, so here's some practice for you guys. Think of each segment in the figure as a part of a line. Which lines or planes appear to fit the description? Alright, so you have four parts to this. A. Lines parallel to CD and containing point A. B. Lines skewed to CD and containing point A. C. Lines perpendicular to line CD and containing point A. And D. Planes parallel to plane EFG and containing point A. Pause the video, give it a shot, come back for the right answer. Alright, I'm just going to keep the answer real quick. So, as you can see here, line AB is parallel to line CD. That's because only this contains point A, but line HG and EF could work if they didn't ask us to find one containing point A. Next, line AH and AG are skew lines to line CD because they're non-coplanar and they don't intersect with line CD. Next, line AD is perpendicular to line CD. That's because we see that right angle. That means that this is perpendicular. And then lastly, plane ABC is parallel to plane EFG, and that's because that's the only one that contains point A. Okay, so the parallel postulate and the perpendicular postulate. So, what the parallel postulate tells us. If there's a line and a point not on a line, then there is exactly one line to the point parallel to the given line. So, as you can see here, there's exactly one line through point P that is parallel to line L. As you can see here, we have point P, and so since that is parallel to this point, there must be one line parallel to line L. Okay, so next, the perpendicular postulate. If there's a line and a point not on the line, then there's exactly one line to the point perpendicular to the given line. So as you can see here, there's a line perpendicular through line L through point P. Alright, so here we have a picture. The given line markings show how the roads in a town are related to one another. So what you have to do, name a pair of parallel lines, name a pair of perpendicular lines, and finally is line FE and AC parallel. And you have to explain that. Pause the video, try this out, and come back for the right answer. Alright, so the answer. As you can see here, lines MD and line FE are parallel. That's because we see the two arrows here. That represents, as we learned, that they are parallel. Then next, line BM, right here, or BF, whatever you have to say. And then line MA, or MD. This is they're perpendicular because of the right angle symbol right here we see. And then lastly, FE and AC are not parallel. They're not parallel because according to the parallel postulate, there's only one line parallel through to line FE. That's through point M right here. Alright, so next, identifying pairs of angles. So, a transversal is a line that intersects two or more coplanar lines at different points. So, angles formed by transversals. There are four different types, and we're going to learn about them right now. So, corresponding angles. Corresponding angles are two angles that are when they have corresponding positions. They are corresponding angles when they have corresponding positions. as you can see here, these have corresponding positions. As you can see here, it's in the upper right, and this is also in the upper right of this segment, or this area right here, so they are corresponding angles. Next, alternate interior angles. Two angles are alternate interior angles when they lie between two lines and on opposite sides of the transversal. As you saw here, a transversal is a line that intersects two or more coplanar lines at different points. So how would that look like? It would be between the two lines, so between these two lines, but on opposite sides. So this would be on the right side, and number 2 would be on the left side. Alright, next, alternate exterior angles. Two angles are alternate exterior angles when they lie on opposite sides of the transversal and are on the outside of the two lines. Alright, as you can see here, we have a transversal going through our two lines, and then we have 2 points, or 2 angles, 1 and 2. It's on the outside of the two lines, but still on the opposite sides. Consecutive interior angles. Two angles are consecutive interior angles. They lie between two lines and on the same side of the transversal. As you can see here, they lie between the two sides, but they're on the same sides. They lie between the two lines and are on the same sides, which tells us that they are consecutive interior angles. Alright, so here's some practice. Identify all pairs of angles on the given type, or the diagram. A. Corresponding angles. B. Corresponding interior angles. C. Alternate interior angles. And D. Alternate exterior angles. Pause the video, try it out, and come back for the answer. Okay, so now that you're back, first off, number A, or question A, it's going to be angle 1 and 5, angle 2 and 6, angle 3 and 7, and angle 4 and 8. They have to be on the same side and on the corresponding positions. Corresponding interior angles, angles 2 and 5 and angles 4 and 7. They're on the same side of the transversal and on the inside of the two lines. Alternate interior angles, angles 2 and 7 and angles 4 and 5, between the two lines but on opposite sides of the transversals. Then alternate exterior angle, angles 1 and 8 and angle 3 and 6. Outside the two lines, but still on the opposite sides of the transversal. If you guys enjoyed this video and found this educational, like the video, subscribe, hit the bell notifications, and come back for more educational videos like this.